Hi there, just in my space here, and I have had a wild ride this week. I don't know if you are similar to me of like putting your desires out there and being like, yes, universe, I do want to become the person that can have those desires. I know this is all about the journey. Let's do it. I want that. And I've been in that mindset and doing a lot of meditation and journaling and tapping into my intuition that really is in agreement with that feeling, that manifestation of becoming the person who can live the life of my dreams, like becoming internally strong and decisive and adventurous and playful and can be creative in the moment and still work hard but shift out of that overproductive overdrive control and shift into trust while still staying active. All of those things that I hear people who are really successful and able to do, I'm like, yes, I am down with all of that. I want to live like that. I want to be like that. I want the life that comes with it. And this week I have so much gotten that opportunity by having realized I signed up for a very expensive coaching program that I don't have the funds for right now, thinking I still need someone outside of me. I still need help figuring out how to go from point A to point B, how to take this offer that I have in my heart and share it with people. And there's a lot of online coaches right now who are like, let me help you make $1 million. You've seen them. They're all over the place. And so I have participated in a number of programs, and most recently was in a program that was a year-long 18K. And when I signed up, I was like, this is what's going to be it. This is more than I can afford, but that's okay. I talked to the closer and I was like, I don't really have the money long term for this. And she was like, no, a bunch of people get in and you make that money within the first few months and you pay that off and you get your ROI. And I was like, hell yes, that's going to be me. I'm going to do that. And I've been in this coaching program 4 months and am like, this is not it. There's so many reasons it's not it. And I'm trying to exit it because I've realized like I don't even want to be around that energy anymore. It's just not it. And there are a number of things that led up to that. And the advertisement for the coaching program was so phenomenal. And there's all this energy and effort around how to get someone to say yes to your offer, how to get their attention, how to find them, how to get them in the door, how to get them to sign on a call with you, how to get them to say yes to your offer that's thousands of dollars that's going to transform their life. And you take this stance of going from, hey, I know your pain. I was just there a few years ago. Don't you want to be where I'm at? Let me show you the way. And you become the gatekeeper for someone else's transformation and journey. And it's totally antithetical to a lot of what the coaching programs are promising and to the idea of self empowerment and improvement and sovereignty. So there's not really that much regulation around coaching right now. And that's a little bit of something that's been hard for me to swallow, even in the coaching program. And I'm like, what results are reasonable to tell people? And they're like, well, whatever the results that are possible are, those are reasonable to share with people, which again is totally against my training in intervention development and in healthcare, where you weed out those interventions that just happen due to chance and you put your money behind those that work. And there are a number of reasons that I wanted to transition into an unregulated market because I don't like the regulations around healthcare right now. I don't think that they're supportive of people's health. So going to an unregulated market is like, let me do that because people can then make decisions from their own hearts and sovereignty that aren't really supported in today's economic environment. You can't some places you can like go get a gym membership as part of your health insurance, but it's still seen as a little bit outside the box. And we know that exercise is the magic pill that everyone is seeking. So wouldn't a gym membership or a yoga membership or some more of the physical and mental health preventative memberships make so much sense? And some people are doing it, but it's not necessarily standard healthcare. So I wanted to shift into this unregulated market, and I'm now having this experience of having signed a really one-sided contract that basically is like, you got to pay the 18K. It doesn't matter what your participation is. If you want to quit, you're out. I'm trying to get out, and the coach is really holding that over my head. And I did not think that that would happen. I thought that because it's a spiritual, intuitive business and has a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs as clients, I naively thought that being able to share, this is not working for me and I'm not aligned with it anymore. I want out. That would be like, okay, we understand. And it's just, and for some of the people who are like more logical and based in the 3D, you're like, no, that makes total sense that they would protect themselves. But it's like this 3D to 5D major misalignment that I think happens a lot in the coaching industry right now. And I share all that to say, I am struggling to get out of this agreement. And I have the same fear in my chest that I had when telling my ex-husband that I wanted a divorce. And not even trying to negotiate for anything, just saying, I want out. And what I am getting to learn right now, the messy lesson that I'm getting right now is how to stand up for myself because I see the bigger picture. I see everyone's perspective. I want to keep the peace. I will take on more pain, that I will take on unreasonable burden to avoid someone else feeling like shit. And I've been like that since I can remember, and it's to my detriment. I fucking got married because of that. I accepted an engagement ring that I thought was so ugly, and I didn't tell him. So you see how being really accommodating and people pleasing has held me back. And if you relate to that, you see how your power is drained, but without knowing how to stand up for yourself, you're just watching it drain out of you like, no, 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 no. How do I don't, no, I don't want you to leave. And the reason is there's so much guilt around having your own perspective and even knowing my perspective from where I stand right now. I know that it's incomplete. And I know that the complete perspective is made up by the collective. And I know I'm a relational being. And I know that everyone that I interact with is affected by my energy. So I'm going to do my best to have amazing energy for all those connection points that I have to have a little bit of a better day. That is great. That's fantastic. That's a virtue. And it has seriously dictated my life. I have been fucked with by all sorts of people that are like, cool, I'll manipulate her. And even developed some sort of a thick skin and some coping mechanisms. And the lesson who I get to become is someone who honors myself, that I will stand up for myself, that I will say, I choose to have your back. You can be a little bit wrong. You could be 1% wrong. Whereas before, I would only have my back if I was 100% absolutely right, can't argue it at all. And the freedom, the empowerment, the strength that I get by saying, I've got your back 100%. I will go to bat for you. I will be the one that stands up to that bully. I will be the one that stands up to that person who's again trying to manipulate me to their ends and means with no concern for me. I am aware, oh, not everyone cares about me in the way that I care about other people. And it's not to villainize other people or not to say that they're bad and I'm good. It's to say, I get to take care of myself. I don't have to expect that I'm going to enter into a relationship where someone has the same idea that we mutually care for and support each other. That's not always the case. It's not usually the case. And by saying, I'm going to stick up for myself and be in so much integrity with myself, I feel incredibly safe. I feel like, oh, the outcome will be the outcome, but I have my own back. I have myself, where before, if I don't have my own back, I'm so anxious about the outcome. I'm so anxious about what that other person is going to think or say or do or feel. And then I'm just waiting for the resolution, anxious, anxious, anxious. The resolution happens, a little bit of relief, and then move on to the next anxiety. When instead, when I care for myself, I am safe and I can enjoy the ride. I can act with discernment and wisdom. I can still be wrong and still calmly and compassionately concede, but I still care and put myself first. I defend. If it's a lawyer on trial, I stand in that lawyer seat in full defense of myself. Not even defense, just in full representation of myself. And what is helping me is just now I'm feeling these intense emotions where I am being asked to stand up 100% for myself in a slightly ambiguous conflict. When I say slightly ambiguous, I just mean it's not 100% sure that I'm in the right and that person's in the wrong. I'm maybe 90% sure. But even so I'm pretty sure, but that's not to say I'm right, they're wrong, but to say I can take 90% and be so dignified and represent myself, and then maybe even as I practice that more and more, even if I'm not 90% sure, even if I'm 60% sure, I can still fully represent myself. And what is so beautiful is I went to the symphony with Byron last night, and the intensity of the music was so cathartic. I could feel it in my whole body. It felt like adventure. Like, there's always intensity and then resolution. And there were just those moments of intensity, intensity to resolution, intensity to resolution, and where it gets so loud and so quick, but it's still harmonious. That what if the person I need to be is someone who can handle that much conflict and not become so anxious and so accommodating right away because I can't handle the tension of the conflict. So now I can be in that intensity and enjoy it, allow it to be harmonious, if even purposefully off for a few bars. And I trust that it will resolve, and I just get to continue to play in this river of life, and that sometimes it's ease and grace and sometimes it's intensity, and that intensity can be growth. That intensity can be growth. And so while I'm one to be like, I'm fucking here for that, that's the way I want to grow, I'm also like, okay, I'm getting that experience right now and it's intense. It's really intense. So that's what I want to share, as you may find yourself also in a position of being invited to grow in a way that might mean putting yourself first, seeing your own perspective. And like, it's not in a selfish way. It's like, this is the body and the mind that I have. No one knows this perspective better than me, and I will fully represent this perspective. And that is good vibes to the rest of humanity. And to me, to do that in a way that's dignified is to pair it with do no harm. So that I will have a check of do no harm, while I completely represent myself. Peace to you guys. You got this.